Apple's highly anticipated autumn iPhone event, Wonderlust, is just around the corner. During this event, Apple is expected to shine the spotlight on 4 new iPhone models and a couple of Apple Watch variants, showcasing its latest product lineup. Notably, this event will likely introduce significant changes to Apple's charging ports, aligning with new European Union regulations. While nothing is set in stone until Apple CEO Tim Cook takes the stage on Tuesday, we've gathered the most plausible leaks and rumors ahead of the September 12th event. No matter what other surprises Apple may have in store, the new iPhone lineup is poised to steal the show. Anticipated offerings include the high-end iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max, alongside the standard iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus. There was an earlier report suggesting Apple might rebrand the Pro Max model as the iPhone 15 Ultra this year, but it's unclear if this plan remains in effect. Firstly, it's expected that the screen sizes will remain consistent, featuring 6.1-inch displays for the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro, and 6.7-inch screens for the iPhone 15 Plus and iPhone 15 Pro Max promotion. Apple's term for 120 Hz variable refresh rate displays will likely continue to be exclusive to the top-tier models. One significant change in the pipeline is the phasing out of Lightning cables. Over a decade has passed since Apple switched from 30-pin connectors to Lightning, and now, European regulations are pushing Apple to make another port change, this time to USB-C. Apple VP Greg Joswiak confirmed in a Wall Street Journal interview last year that they would need to comply with the EU's requirements. While Apple could potentially wait until next year's iPhone launch to meet the EU's deadline, leaks and well-informed insiders overwhelmingly indicate that this year's iPhone 15 will mark the beginning of the USB-C era for iPhones. However, renowned Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo predicts that only the higher-end iPhone models will offer faster USB-C data transfer speeds. Kuo suggests that only the 2 Pro models will support at least USB 3.2 or Thunderbolt 3 high-speed wired connections, while the 2 standard models iPhone 15 and 15 Plus will continue to use slower USB 2.0 speeds, the same as the Lightning port. Additionally, some of the new models might support faster 35 watts charging speeds, although this may require a proprietary Apple-made adapter. The display cutout that Apple introduced on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max is expected to make its way to all 4 models in 2023. Serving as a replacement for the notch found on older full-screen iPhones, Dynamic Island is a floating black pill-shaped section positioned just below the top of the screen. It not only conceals the phone's front camera and Face ID sensor but can also display alerts, animations, and shortcuts for tasks such as navigation, timers, or music. Apple's VP of Design, Alan Dye, neatly summarized Dynamic Island as capable of displaying alerts, notifications, and ongoing operations in real time without any noticeable boundary between hardware and software. Stainless steel may follow the same fate as the Lightning port, as rumors suggest that the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max may switch to titanium frames. This material upgrade could make the new Pro lineup stronger, lighter, and more premium, as described by Bloomberg's Mark Gurman in July. He mentioned that the titanium material used in high-end Apple Watch models served as a test for bringing it to Apple's highest volume device. Although the phones are expected to retain the same frosted glass back, their corners might be more rounded compared to previous models. Additionally, Apple might replace the lineup's gold color option with a Titan gray colorway. Thinner bezels are expected to accompany the Pro Series titanium frame. Apple is reportedly using a manufacturing process called low injection pressure overmolding, or litho, to develop the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max displays. Gurman reported that this technology could reduce the bezels on the Pro Series to 1.5 mm, down from the 2.2 mm bezels on current models. The iPhone 15 Pro series could also introduce an action button, similar to the one found on the Apple Watch Ultra. This customizable toggle would replace the mute switch on the upper left side of the Pro-tier iPhones. Possible uses for the action button based on iOS 17 code findings include launching the camera, activating the phone's flashlight, enabling focus mode, accessing accessibility features, or retaining the standard mute function. Sources suggest that Apple initially considered replacing the iPhone's physical volume and power buttons with haptic solid-state buttons, but the company reportedly abandoned this idea due to unresolved technical issues in mass production. Therefore, standard volume and power sleep buttons are expected. The most likely camera enhancement is the introduction of a new periscope lens exclusively for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, or Ultra. This lens would utilize a prism to bend or fold captured light, resulting in an optical zoom of 5x to 6x without increasing the phone's thickness. In comparison, the iPhone 14 Pro series supports up to 3x optical zoom. One of the most predictable aspects of a flagship iPhone is the introduction of a faster, next-generation chip. Rumors suggest that the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will feature a 3nm chip, likely named the A17 Bionic, which is expected to deliver performance improvements and possibly extended battery life. Meanwhile, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus models are rumored to continue the trend of reusing the previous year's high-end chip, meaning they would feature the A16 Bionic, found in the iPhone 14 Pro. If recent years serve as any indication, pre-orders for the new iPhones will likely begin on the Friday following the event, with shipments and general availability starting a week later. However, this year's models may come with a higher price tag. Apple Watch Series 9 and Apple Watch Ultra. This year might not bring major changes to the Apple Watch lineup. The primary hardware upgrade in the Apple Watch Series 9 is rumored to be the inclusion of an S9 chip, marking the product's first significant processor upgrade since 2020. According to Gurman, the S9 chip will be based on the A15 chip introduced in Apple's iPhone 13, 2021, lineup. While full details about the S9 chip remain unknown, it's expected to transition from a 7nm manufacturing process to a denser and more efficient 5nm or 4nm process, potentially resulting in performance enhancements and, possibly, longer battery life. Reports suggest that the new Apple Watch Series 9 might not introduce any significant design changes or new features, making it a relatively modest update. Possible changes include the addition of a pink color option and Bluetooth 5.3 support. Nevertheless, the most significant advancement for the Apple Watch in 2023 is expected to come from watchOS 10, arguably the most substantial software update in the wearable's history. Regarding the Apple Watch Ultra, it's also set to receive a second-generation update with the inclusion of an S9 chip, similar to the Series 9. Alongside this chip upgrade, a new Apple Watch Ultra model might feature a black titanium case option. The current model is available in a natural color, and it's expected that this lighter color option will return alongside the new, darker choice. AirPods. Expectations for significant AirPods updates at this event should be tempered, as Apple's shift from Lightning to USB-C is likely the primary change. The company is reportedly set to release new versions of the existing AirPods models, with the primary difference being the use of USB-C for charging cases instead of Lightning. Rumors of future changes in the AirPods lineup include the inclusion of body temperature sensors, accessibility features tailored for people with hearing disabilities, and the potential for a price reduction for the entry-level model. However, it's unlikely that any of these anticipated changes will be unveiled during this event. Software. The event is also expected to provide more details about Apple's significant software updates for 2023, including iOS 17, watchOS 10, and possibly iPadOS 17. These operating systems were initially announced at WWDC 2023, with their final versions expected to become publicly available between the event and the launch of the iPhone 15. Following the recent pattern, macOS Sonoma is likely to launch in October, potentially accompanied by iPadOS 17 if it's not rolled out alongside iOS 17. A separate October event could feature the introduction of new iMac, MacBook Air, and 13-inch MacBook Pro models equipped with the M3 chip. Noteworthy features in iOS 17 include a new standby mode, voicemail transcriptions, FaceTime video voicemails, contact posters, name drop, and new predictive text suggestions in line with messages, among other additions. Meanwhile, watchOS 10 is poised to bring significant changes to the fundamental control scheme of the Apple Watch. The side button, instead of accessing recent apps or the dock, will activate Control Center, while twisting the digital crown from the watch face will scroll through a customizable stack of glanceable widgets.